Chun-Li is one of the most iconic fighting game characters in history, but with Street Fighter and Tekken mixing worlds after Tekken 7, what happens if she gets dropped into the King of Iron Fist tournament, along with her own look, backstory, and fitting her moveset to match Tekken gameplay? Thunder Thighs is getting a new home. Okay, so my first redesign is what happens if Chun-Li was built the way Tekken treats legendary martial artists, like Wang, Leroy, or Fang. Why did that rhyme? Look at it like an update to her classic Street Fighter looks. I wanted her to feel majestic, like someone really sharp yet with royal technique in her combat. I gave her a sleeveless Chi Pao that I used her original Street Fighter 2 outfit as inspiration for. There's also a tinge of Street Fighter Alpha Chun-Li in here as well, but the main original outfit is the biggest thing that I looked to try to create this one. Chun-Li's outfit, while looking odd for an Interpol agent, still has a ceremonial look to it for a fighter that I always liked. I gave her a tied sash around her waist, just thinking about the movement of her clothing in battle going along with the actual Chi Pao she's wearing. Just in my mind, I'm thinking of the way everything would be flowing if she was actually fighting. Tekken really loves its cloth physics. I also replaced her little spike bands with dragon bracers, just creating a more grounded look for a Tekken fighter as opposed to her Street Fighter counterpart. And her buns. I'm talking about her hair, of course, be adults here. I changed her bun slightly just to have bangs flowing from the front. Again, something to let her hair, cloth, or anything really flow in motion during a battle. And yes, I kept the strong look of her thighs. It is something that she is known for as far as her designs are concerned. She still fits in the world of Tekken female characters, but just with her strong qualities from her Capcom designs still here. But that's attire 1. Before I get to attire 2, like, subscribe, and hit the hype button for me. Now this was a whole different vibe entirely from her first one. Tekken specifically has a few characters with vastly different second attires that have a lot more personality to them. We can call this the Harada fashion attire for Chun-Li. I still wanted her to have a Chi Pao vibe with her top, but I made it into a hoodie design, and I gave her a turtleneck underneath just to have something semi-formal to add to the street look. Looking up hoodie Chi Paos on Google, I actually came across a few of these, so it was quite entertaining to me. And what makes the turtleneck hoodie combo even more outrageous is that I didn't give her pants. Hoodie Chi Pao turtleneck combo with no pants is quite the look, to say the least. I gave her short tights underneath the hoodie, so sadly, any gooners out there that are big fans of Chun-Li's styles will be very happy with this outfit. I traded in her traditional buns look with a single braided bun hairstyle with sunglasses for some reason. Honestly, the only purpose it served in my mind was I thought it looked cool. I took the design of her boots from Street Fighter 4 and used them to make a shoe design for her here. This attire kinda looks like Chun-Li is looking for a Tekken after party more so than a tournament to fight in, but that's good enough. Now we have the look of a Tekken Chun-Li, so let's talk about her gameplay.
That's the match!
I won!
Chun-Li, you are careless!
For her moveset, Chun-Li doesn't necessarily have to change too much from her Street Fighter counterpart. Okay, that's not entirely true. Her moves themselves wouldn't really need to change, just how they function is a better way to phrase that. Chun-Li as a guest character in Tekken can play just like her Street Fighter counterpart, but a Bandai Namco created Chun-Li would need a few fundamental changes. Number 1, no projectiles. Enough of adding fireball characters etc. into Tekken games. Honestly, me personally, I'm sick of it. Or more accurately, I'm tired of getting hit by them. Number 2, kick first, ask questions later. She doesn't need to be Warong or Baek per se, but she does need to make kicks her main strength and a danger for her opponents. And finally, see number 2 again. I'd say giving her very strong kick launchers and tail spins along with their heat engagers is really important for making this Chun-Li stand out in Tekken. Her 100 lightning kicks could be a just frame string, almost like Electric Wind God Fist but with kicks. Something where like perfect button inputs gives you more kicks and possible juggle extension. Possibly even her spinning bird kick could be like an armored attack that could launch on hit and wall splat on counter hit, which I figured would be pretty fascinating for her. And the Kikoken. I wouldn't remove it entirely, I did just say no projectiles here, but I would make it just a parry flash instead that creates distance and sends the opponents flying backwards, or possibly just leaves them open for free hits after the parry. I'll let you decide how her rage art would play out for Tekken 8 and beyond. My mind personally just thinks of a cinematic version of her previous supers, specifically her Street Fighter 6 one, but that's just me. Now the real mess of dropping Chun-Li into the Tekken universe. Her place in the story.
You know, everything that I've accomplished in my life, I thought I had done it for my father.
In Tekken canon, Chun-Li will remain an Interpol agent as she is in Street Fighter. And considering the global conflict between the Mishima Zaibatsu and G Corporation, her working with world governments not only fits, it would be kinda necessary for her story here. However, like I recently did when I played Scorpion in Tekken 8, I don't want Chun-Li directly involved in the Mishima family drama. So here we go. Chun-Li, skilled martial artist and Interpol agent whose father was murdered at the hands of the conflict between the Mishima Zaibatsu and G Corporation. She currently finds herself investigating bioweapons leaked to G Corp, and after the apparent death of Heihachi and Kazuya's revealed to be an actual devil, her trail to stop this global conflict has led her directly to an assassin in pursuit of Lars, Lee, and Victor. She encounters Nina Williams, who has found Chun-Li too close to G Corporation activities. Now having the attention of Kazuya Mishima and his number one assassin, Chun-Li's next move cannot be helped. She enters the King of Iron Fist tournament, bearing the threat of Kazuya's global annihilation of countries losing in mind. She'll fight to buy Lars and Victor enough time to attack G Corp and Kazuya and bring this lengthy conflict to its end. By taking this approach with Chun-Li's story, she can stay true to the core of her Street Fighter lore while also placing her nicely into all of Tekken's world issues. This still leads to her making an appearance in the tournament, similar to how she fought in Street Fighter's World Warrior tournament as well. This also conveniently keeps her away from the Mishima family problems because there are enough people involved in all of those. Being honest, Akuma was a nice guest character in Tekken 7, but the way he was placed in the story's history, it makes me think more Street Fighter characters could fit in seamlessly as a standalone playable character in Tekken as well, and be an honest part of the story. But this was fun. I can't get enough of just taking random characters and throwing them in cross-franchise redesigns. Feel free to let me know what you think of a Tekken Chun-Li, and if you have a crossover idea, I'd love to hear it. I may even work on one day. Tekken, Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, hell, WrestleMania the arcade game, I'll entertain a character anywhere. Anyways, if you enjoyed the design, again, like and subscribe and hit the hype button for the video. It helps more than you think. And you all have a good one, and I'm out.
Get it on that. Select and make it first pick. Get it on that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Get it on that. Choose and pick the best one. Get it on that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get it on that. Select and make it first pick. Get it on that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Get it on that.